Very important tip to deal with the palladium carbon. So it is really very nice catalyst to do hydrogenation or many other reactions related to the hydrogen, or like deprotection, benzyl deprotection, or like reducing the double bond, or like carbonyl group to CH2, or like alcohol. Many other things it can be done, but there are a couple of things you really have to remember for the palladium carbon during dealing with. If you didn't see my previous reaction like on hydrogenation, you can go to my channel and you can look like how to do the hydrogenation, so you can get idea. So palladium carbon is basically the palladium is 10% in like activated charcoal or carbon, and it is very dangerous like if you don't deal with safety. So first of all, when you are planning to set up the reaction with the palladium carbon, do not use like hot flask or hot solvent to dissolve your compound. Then if you add your palladium carbon in that hot solution or in the hot flask, it will catch fire or like fire. So very careful. And when you are dealing this palladium carbon or adding this palladium carbon nearby to the reaction flask or something, make sure that there is no hot plate or no heating source. So that is another important thing. And definitely for the solvent choice, the palladium carbon could be like very dangerous. Most common and most dangerous solvent for the palladium carbon is methanol, especially when you're dealing with like bulk amount, like even like 500 milligram palladium carbon, or like 200 milligram palladium carbon, or like 1 gram palladium carbon or 2 gram palladium carbon. So be careful to choose the solvent as a methanol. So it is very common palladium carbon like catch fire immediately in presence of methanol. But in some cases, you cannot avoid the methanol for this reaction. In that case, how you can use the palladium carbon by using methanol? So in that case, you can do one thing. So take very nice dry, oven dried, but cool to room temperature, a round bottom flask or like 3-necked or 2-necked round bottom flask, and then add your solid palladium like cold remember, in cold situation, add your palladium carbon solid, like dry palladium carbon solid, and then add your reagent there. Before adding solvent, add your all reagent whatever you need to add, and then close all the other necks with the rubber septa and attach one condenser in the middle neck, and on top of the condenser attach one rubber septa. Then put gas like nitrogen or argon gas with a manifold, double manifold gas line, and then degas it couple of times, and after that put gas, argon flow, and on top of that keep 2 needle open while the gas is on. Like that means gas is going inside and 2 needle out, just 2 needle on, like open. And then with the syringe, take your methanol solvent while you added all other things there, and on top of the condenser, make sure that you clean your condenser nicely and dry. So on top of the condenser, insert your needle from the syringe, and initially just add drop wise. Even you can see the fire producing or like fire drop producing in the reaction flask. So in that case, don't be scared, just keep high flow of the argon and add just simply drop wise methanol until all the palladium carbon is like soaked with the methanol. Once it is soaked with the methanol, then it is safe. But be careful, do not keep that condenser open, like keep the condenser. Sometimes if you don't keep 2 needle open while gas is also on, and if you add the like methanol on that palladium carbon, it can create pressure, like also like it can explode. So be careful, make sure that you kept well vented out, like so that additional pressure can go out That's why methanol addition should be very slow, dropwise, just dropwise. Be careful for the palladium carbon. And also there are other solvents can catch fire immediately. Maybe it is not suitable or recommended to use like halogenated solvent like DCM or like chloroform, but still in some cases people need to use. So you maybe just read and go through the literature and see the precautions like to use or to handle the palladium carbon. So in that case, just follow that procedure. Attach the condenser even if it can catch fire or something, and make sure that when you are using the condenser, run the water through the condenser. So in that case it will be like cool down, even if it like vigorous, so it will cool it down. And make sure that you put the argon gas line, gas is on and 2 needle is open and high flow of the argon, and from the top dropwise at the methanol or like any other solvent which is like flammable or like which can catch fire in touch of the palladium carbon.